Hello there everyone, how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we've got two stories for you all from r/entitled people. If there's a subreddit you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get started. Entitled passenger demands their baggage when airport earlier had a major incident. Cast, entitled EP, entitled passenger or entitled person. OP, an airline duty manager for the day. CC is cabin crew. Pilot is, pilot. And S is airline supervisor. I can't English today. Airline supervisor for the day. A is airline agent. This was a while ago, but it still irritates me on how some passengers cannot understand when something happens that is out of our own control. Anyway, typing this off mobile. Apologies if any errors. Also, I am trying to limit how much to disclose in case someone recognizes this. On this particular day, there was a major security incident at the airport I used to work at. So many areas and services was shut down. The supervisor and myself was explaining to the crew that there was an incident and that it would take them time for their bags to arrive. This was when EP shows up screaming, "Where's my bags? I demand that you send my bags down now." Sir, there was an incident at the airport and we are trying to resume normal operations. I don't care if there's a security incident and something happens to you all. I want my bags now. Sir, you would have to wait for your bags like all the other passengers. This is out of our control. I will file a complaint against this airline and I'll have everyone here fired. Sir, what would you like me to do? This is out of my control. EP walks away, and while me, my supervisor, and crew were all enraged and disgusted by what happened. Later on, a late baggage announcement was done by our agent. We could not tell the passengers what exactly happened, as we did not want to induce a major panic at the airport. EP comes back and walks up to me and screams at me, "You're a little," insert swear word here, "I want my baggage now." Me fuming at this point, I snapped, "Sir, a security incident happened. It is out of the airline's control. Also, I did not lie. I demand to speak to your manager." I am the manager for the day. Then I demand to speak to your superiors. They aren't here, and they already know what's going on. I informed my superiors about this incident early on when I got word about it from the company that owns the airport. Then give me someone who can get me my bags now. Why don't you call insert company that owns the airport? We are following the security guidelines set forth. We are not going to risk our jobs just to go grab your bags and bring it here. Airport staff cannot do this, as we could get arrested for either a theft or smuggling. I was not going to tell the staff to do what the EP demanded, as I didn't want them fired, arrested for breaking the law. At this point, CC steps in between us and tells the EP what happened, and that I cannot tell what exactly happened. But the EP walked away angry. At this point, I walked away to handle another issue from another passenger. A couple minutes later, everyone's bags start coming down the belt. Did not see the EP again, and for those who are asking, this was not a domestic flight, it was an international flight. So this means passengers, crew, and baggage needs to clear customs. Big group thinks they own the forest because they come here all the time. A few months ago, towards the end of the season in this area, I went camping with my friends. We were 3 women. The spot we chose was on a cliff with a great view of a canyon and the creek at the bottom. The area allows dispersed camping, and there are very few spots with that view, and it's first come, first serve. When we arrived, only one spot was left, with the view hidden behind trees, but only a few feet away. The view could only be accessed by walking straight through our camp. I think there are other spots you can hike to without going through a campsite. On our first night there, a couple, two men, walked into our camp saying they wanted to see the view. I wasn't super uncomfortable because you can't trust a stranger in a forest, and they were in our space. But they were only there for a few minutes and then they left. The next day, we went to watch the sunset off the cliff and had left all our stuff lying around camp. When we start hearing cars, dog voices, and screaming kids. 2 cars pulled up to our camp and walked right in, making themselves comfortable. We ran back to see all of our space was completely invaded. Kids under our tarp and running around the tent poles, people around our fire, etc. We had a small puppy with us that was terrified of the new dog, but these people didn't even care. A woman explained that they live nearby and love coming to see the view. I was in absolute shock at the disrespect. Everyone is allowed to enjoy nature, and it was a public spot, but you have to respect if someone is there first. At least have the decency to ask. As they were leaving, well after sunset, the same woman said they'd be coming later that night to see the stars. My friends were so angry, and I was still in shock. As they were loading their car, I ran up to them and said the first thing that came to mind. I asked one of the men, "Hey, when you come back later, are you planning on bringing the kids?" "Man, I'm not sure. Why is that?" "Well, the thing is, we're out here to do heavy drugs. We're starting in a few minutes, and things might get pretty wild, and I wouldn't want to expose children to that. You, as adults, might be able to handle it, but I don't know what will happen. I don't do drugs and only drink occasionally." They never came back, thank God, and hopefully they learned something about respecting people's space. Karen experiences the dreaded knife hand. This all happened on Monday, and I had just got done with CDL class that day, and I had a craving for Asian food. I went to the local Panda Express because it is next door to the GameStop in the same plaza. I figured I would go to GameStop and asked about Starfield pre-orders. I know it's way early for that, but because I have Mondays off from work, I figured I'd go and kill some time since I had nothing better to do. I walk in, and there's this Karen with a little crotch goblin in the store. The kid is throwing a little rubber ball around while Karen is talking to the clerk. I felt bad for the clerk because both Karen and her crotch goblin kept pestering the poor guy about GTA 6. And the whole time, he was just trying to explain that there is so far no information on GTA 6. It went something like this. "What do you mean you don't have GTA 6? "I'm saying we don't have it in store. We don't even have any information on if it will ever come." Quatch Goblin said, "Mommy, when will we get GTA 6? Karen said, "Quit lying. I know you have it. My son said he saw YouTubes of people buying it." Clerk said, "Are you sure you checked legitimate sources?" Karen, "Are you calling my son a effing insert arsler that you definitely shouldn't use?" "How dare you!" I was content with minding my own business until Crotch Goblin threw his ball and smacked me in the face. I said, "Lady, could you please control your kid? His ball just hit me in the face." Karen said, "My kid can do whatever he wants. Maybe you need to stay out of his way." The kid throws his ball again. This time, he throws it directly at me and I snapped. I snatched his ball away and walk up to Karen, and my inner drill sergeant comes out. I get in her face and start yelling at her, complete with a knife hand. You need to control your damn kid and get the frick out of this store. The clerk has been nothing but nice to you, and I am sick of you and your kid's BS. Maybe if your kid wasn't such a F-wording dumbass, then maybe he'd know that every single video on GTA 6 is nothing but BS. Now shut the F up and F right off. Crotch Goblin. Give me my ball, you big meanie. You want your ball? F you. I walked outside and chucked the ball across the highway. After that, Karen and her crotch goblin left, and I asked the clerk about Starfield. I got my answer, and we shot the poo for the next 10 minutes. About whatever, and I left before driving home. I sat and enjoyed my Panda Express. Do I feel bad about how I handled it? Yes. Admittedly, I could have handled it better, but what happened happened and there's no changing it. TLDR, I went full drill sergeant on a Karen and her crotch goblin in a GameStop. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. See you next time.